Hi everyone, it's Hannah from Hand Done Crochet, and today we are making these really cute napkin rings. They're really easy to crochet and take very little yarn, so let's get going. So for the napkin rings, there are two different versions, but they use exactly the same stitches. So once you know how to do one, you'll know how to do both of them. And I'm going to be using here today Dishy worsted weight yarn from We Crochet. And now in the pattern and in my original version, I used another 100% cotton weight and a category 3 weight. But I've found that this is actually a really good match. So there is a lot of variation between category 3 and category 4, and some of them are quite close to each other. So just have a check in the pattern. I've added a few different options for different yarns in there as well. You're going to need a 4mm or a G crochet hook, a pair of scissors and a needle for your ends. I'll pop links in the description below so that you can find out where to get your supplies and the pattern, and then we can get going. So to begin with, we are going to pop a slip knot on the hook, and then we are going to chain 24. And then once you've got your 24 chains, we're going to work back across in the second chain from the hook, and then each along we're going to pop a single crochet. So that's a US single crochet. And I like to work in the back bumps. So rather than the front facing you now of these chains, I'm going to twist it over and I'm going to work into these back bumps. So find that second chain from the hook and we'll work a single crochet in each of them. So pop your hook through, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through two. So a single crochet in each to the ends. And now we've finished row 1, we're going to turn our work and we're going to repeat the same basic stitch there. We're going to chain 1 to get ourselves going, and then we're going to work a single crochet into each stitch along. Now we turn again, and row 3 is exactly the same. Chain 1 and single crochet into each stitch. And now we've completed row 3, we're going to turn, and this is where the fun begins. So row 4 is going to introduce our bobble stitches. Now lots of people ask, what is the difference between a bobble stitch and a cluster stitch? And so the answer is a bobble stitch uses just double crochet stitches, so US double crochet stitches, whereas a cluster stitch can be made out of any kind of stitch. So they're exactly the same process for making the stitches, but it's just what stitch you use within that process that is the difference. So just in case you were wondering. Anyway, so for row 4, we are going to chain 1, and we're going to begin by popping a single crochet in that first stitch. And then we're going to work a 4 double crochet bobble stitch in the next stitch. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to pop into the stitch there, yarn over and pull through. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2. And normally you would yarn over and complete that stitch, but we're not going to do that now. We're going to yarn over and we're going to start another stitch in that very same stitch there. So go back into the stitch you went into, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. So now we've got 3 loops left on the hook. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pop back into that same stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, and we've got 4 loops. And now we're going to yarn over and for the last time put our 4th stitch in there, and then we'll yarn over, pull through 2, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops that we have on the hook. There we go. And so that is our first bobble stitch that we have there. And then what we're going to do to bring it down and make it pop out, we are going to work a single crochet in the next stitch along. And you'll see in a second what that does. It makes it pop out there on the other side. So when we're working bobbles, we're then going to have the texture on the opposite side. So our bobble rows are always worked on the wrong side of our work. So this will be the back and this will be the front. So then all we need to do is carry on repeating those 2 stitches, the bobble stitch and then the single crochet, all the way along to the end of the row. So here we go again with our next bobble stitch. We go 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and then we single crochet into the next stitch, and then we bobble into the next one, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then single crochet into the next one. So carry on working that all the way across until we get to the ends. And there's our last bobble stitch, and it leaves us with 1 stitch there at the end, and we're going to pop a single crochet in it. So that is row 4 complete. That will look like that from the back, which is very weird and wonderful. And then from the front here, you see we have all of these beautiful bobbles popping up at us. So now, happy days, we know everything that we need to know. So the next row, we are going to chain 1, and we're just going to pop a single crochet in each stitch along. Now I'm going to show you this one because it's sometimes easy to get a bit kerfuddled with this, so I like to turn it on its top and then make sure that I've got the whole of the V of the stitch running through it there, and so the little single crochet stitches hide nicely in between them. So just make sure you go through and you scoop up each of those stitches, because the stitch count stays the same throughout, so, and they're not very big, so just make sure you have a little count up when you've done each row, just to make sure you're still on track. So a single crochet to the end of the row, and then, as I say, you know everything you need to know. Row 6 is going to be a repeat of row 4, and then row 7 is a repeat of row 2, row 8 is a repeat of row 4, and then rows 9 to 11 are going to be a repeat of row 2 again. So it will mirror the bottom here that we've already made. So if you want to go ahead and repeat those rows, and then meet me back here and we will turn it into a ring together. Okay, so whichever version you're making, at the end of row 11, we are ready to break our yarn, but what I would say is we're going to use this as a tail to weave in our ends, so give yourself a good amount of yarn to do that with. And then we pull through that last stitch, and then you'll need to get your needle ready to weave in these ends. Now, what we're going to basically be doing is folding this over to this and seaming down this side here. So you can do that however you like, but bear in mind these are going to be popped over the top of napkins and done and undone and all that kind of jazz. So I would make sure whatever you do, however you sew them together, you do it really nice and securely. So you can either use a whip stitch or a mattress stitch or whatever is your preferred seaming method. So I'm just going to sew them together now. You see I've got the wrong side looking at me now. So the bobbles are facing inwards to match each other so that you're not going to see any of this seam from the other side. And just work your way along, matching the edges to each other. And then once we've got down here to the ends, we're ready to weave in both of these ends now. And then you'll be able to turn it to the right side facing, and we will be done. And there we have our finished napkin ring. Now you'll see in the pattern, the one with the diagonal bobbles basically just moves the bobbles along one. So it's exactly the same format of using a bobble stitch and separate it by single crochet, but you'll put the bobbles in a different place. That is the only difference for it. So make as many as you like of whichever version you like and all the colours that you like. I really hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial, and I will see you again soon.